You know, you are probably just scrolling through your feed and suddenly the algorithm serves you this perfect 30-second time-lapse video.
Oh, yeah. We have all seen those.
Right. It is usually a sleek, compact laser engraver just burning this flawless, intricate design into a slate coaster. Or, I mean, maybe it's a heat press transferring vibrant ink onto a ceramic mug.
And it always looks so effortless.
Exactly. The machine is affordable, it fits right on a kitchen counter, and just looking at it, your brain kind of skips right over the mechanics and goes straight to the outcome.
You start doing the math in your head.
Yeah. You think, I could sell those for 20 bucks a pop? That is my ticket to an extra $2,000 a month.
It's a brilliant psychological trap laid out by the companies selling that equipment.
A trap?
Yeah, because they are selling you a feeling of immediate productivity. You watch that laser glide across the slate, and you feel like a business owner before you have even entered your credit card number.
Oh, wow.
But the uncomfortable truth we are tackling right out of the gate today is this. A mini machine is not a business. It is simply an object with a plug.
That is a harsh reality check.
It is. I mean, it can cut, press, or heat, but it is utterly incapable of finding a single paying customer.
Okay, let's unpack this, because I will admit I have fallen under the spell of those videos.
Most people do.
Right. And you end up staring at this very convincing expense, taking up space in your spare room, surrounded by boxes of blank coasters, just wondering where all the buyers are.
Waiting for the magic to happen.
Exactly. And that is our mission for today's deep dive. We're looking at the mechanics of micromanufacturing and shifting your perspective.
Getting away from the fantasy.
Yeah, moving away from that illusion of easy plug-and-play income and figuring out how to build a durable business model where buying a machine actually makes financial sense.
What's fascinating here is how these marketing videos train you to build a business completely backwards.
Backwards how?
Well, it is human nature to be visual, right? So we buy the machine, we make the product, and then we wander out into the world looking for someone to give us money for it.
Which sounds totally normal to most people.
It does, but it is the equivalent of building a multi-million-dollar bridge in the middle of a desert and just, hoping a river eventually shows up underneath it.
And the river rarely shows up.
Almost never.
So how do we reverse engineer this? If the instinct is to start with the tool, what is the actual sequence of a functional, durable business?
Well, you have to start entirely outside the machine.
Okay.
First, you identify a very specific market need. Then you find the exact customer attached to that need.
Right.
Third, you define the product that solves their problem. Fourth, you calculate the comprehensive, hidden costs of delivering it.
So you do all that math first.
Exactly. And only at the very end of that grueling process do you look at a piece of equipment and ask, well, will buying this help me deliver that outcome faster or with better margin?
Wow. Putting the machine last can literally save you thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
Because a machine manufactures products, but only a good decision manufactures margin. Let's ground this in reality by looking at the most common trap for beginners, which is personalization machines.
Oh, the classic entry point.
Yeah, laser engravers, vinyl cutters, sublimation printers, and there's an undeniable magic to personalization.
There really is.
You take a plain wooden cutting board, just a generic kitchen utensil, and you laser engrave a family name and a wedding date onto it.
Right, and you have completely shifted the category of the item.
Exactly.
It's no longer a utensil, it's an heirloom. A plain cardboard box is something you recycle, but foil stamp a customized message on it, and it becomes the centerpiece of an unboxing experience.
It changes the whole vibe.
It does. A generic metal tumbler is just a cup, but add a corporate logo and an employee's name, and suddenly it's an onboarding gift.
The perceived value skyrockets.
Because you've injected emotion and identity into raw materials.
But here is where I have to push back, though.
All right.
If the perceived value goes up that dramatically just by adding a name, isn't the standard playbook totally valid?
You mean selling online?
Yeah. I buy the machine, I make a bunch of these beautiful personalized cutting boards, I throw them up on a digital storefront or a marketplace, and I let strangers find me. People are constantly searching for wedding gifts online. Why doesn't that work?
Because you are assuming the machine gave you a competitive advantage.
And it didn't.
It didn't. It gave you production capacity. If you upload a personalized cutting board to a massive online marketplace, you are competing against tens of thousands of other people.
Oh, right.
People who saw the exact same targeted ad, bought the exact same machine, and watched the exact same tutorial. You are fighting an algorithmic war.
That sounds exhausting.
It is. Earning a single $30 sale from a stranger requires massive effort in SEO, photography, and advertising. By the time you get the sale, your customer acquisition cost has totally eaten your profit. It's a race to the bottom on price.
So we just abandoned the idea of selling individual items to strangers on the internet. Where does the real opportunity live in the personalization space?
It lives in the shift from products to packages.
Packages. Okay, explain that.
Selling one custom mug to a stranger is a hobby. Selling 100 branded mugs packaged with custom coasters and a welcome note to a real estate agency for their new home buyer kits. That is a business. You elevate your mindset from, I make mugs to I solve your client gifting problem.
That makes so much sense. When a wedding planner needs custom table signs, they do not want to hunt through online marketplaces hoping an amateur ships them on time.
Exactly. The risk is too high for them.
They want a reliable, local partner who handles the design, guarantees the quality, and takes the headache off their plate. You stop competing on the price of the acrylic, and you start charging for the reliability.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it explains why another category of machines is so dangerously enticing.
Which category is that?
Food and drink equipment.
Oh, the impulse buy kings. Popcorn makers, cotton candy spinners, great machines. I see these and my brain immediately does the terrible math.
Everyone does the terrible math.
Right, because a 50-pound bag of raw popcorn kernels costs what, 20 bucks?
Yeah.
And you can sell a small paper bag of popcorn at a fair for $5. The margins look astronomical.
Paper, yeah.
Plus, you don't have to educate anyone on what cotton candy is. It smells incredible, kids see it, parents buy it. It looks like the easiest business on earth.
The product is simple, but the operation is a logistical nightmare.
Why is that?
When you buy a commercial food machine, you aren't just popping corn, you are entering the highly regulated world of food service.
Oh, the red tape.
So much red tape. You are now responsible for ingredient sourcing, managing safe storage temperatures, dealing with cross-contamination and allergies, and rigorous cleaning protocols.
I hadn't even thought about the cleaning.
Oh, try scraping caramelized sugar out of a cotton candy heating element at 2 in the morning after a 6-hour shift.
Yeah, that sounds miserable. And we really need to underline the regulatory side here, too. Obviously, this is not legal or financial advice, but you cannot just buy a waffle iron, set up a folding table in a public park, and declare yourself open for business.
Definitely not. Operating any of these machines depends entirely on your specific location.
Right, you have to validate local health permits, vendor licenses, food safety certifications, and commercial insurance.
One visit from a health inspector can shut you down permanently and carry hefty fines. The venue really dictates your entire cost structure.
So selling at a private birthday party is totally different than a massive county fair.
Completely different insurance requirements, different volume, different rules. The equipment is maybe 5% of the actual business model.
So if standing in a park selling $3 bags of popcorn to foot traffic is a logistical nightmare, how do we apply the package mindset to a food machine?
By realizing you are not selling the snack.
What are you selling?
You are selling the moment. You are selling the aesthetic, the photos, the party atmosphere. The profitable move is to become a small event service.
B2B again.
Yes.
Yeah.
You approach an event coordinator and say, hey, I provide a fully staffed, vintage-style cotton candy cart for your 3-hour corporate family day. We handle setup, serving, and teardown.
So you remove the organizational friction. The event planner doesn't want to rent a sticky machine and figure out how to use it.
Exactly. They just want the result.
They want to write one check and have a delightful experience magically appear. And convenience commands a radically higher margin than raw sugar and corn.
Exactly that. But the through line here is constant. Do not buy the machine just because spinning sugar looks fun on video.
All right, let's pivot. Say, I want absolutely nothing to do with food safety or live events. I want stable, predictable clients.
Which is a smart goal.
That brings us to B2B solutions, serving local businesses with machines like vinyl cutters.
A great space, if you do it right.
And local businesses are incredible clients because they are in a constant state of churn. A new coffee shop opens and needs window hours. A plumbing company buys a new van and needs a decal. A salon adds a new service and needs a sidewalk sign. The demand is built in.
The demand is there, but the beginner's mistake with a vinyl cutter is assuming the value lies in the cutting.
Doesn't it?
Not really.
Okay.
The machine takes 90 seconds to slice out a logo. If you are just handing a local business owner a sheet of cut vinyl, your profit is pennies.
And they have to install it themselves.
And they're probably going to ruin it trying to stick it to their own window.
So where does the margin actually live then, if not in the physical sticker?
The margin lives in the friction you remove. It's in driving to the coffee shop, measuring the storefront window perfectly so the design scales correctly.
Right, the consulting part.
It's in knowing which specific outdoor-rated UV-resistant vinyl to order so it doesn't peel and crack in the July sun. It's in communicating with the client, handling their design revisions, and ultimately showing up and installing it flawlessly without a single air bubble.
You aren't selling a sticker. You're selling a complete risk-free storefront branding solution.
Exactly.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Speaking of where the margin lives, let's talk about foil stamping machines.
Oh, I love these.
These are the devices that use heat and pressure to bond metallic gold or silver foil onto paper, leather, or packaging. At first glance, it looks like a niche craft tool for scrapbookers.
It looks small, but the lesson it teaches about business is profound.
How so?
A foil stamping machine proves that sometimes the margin isn't in the base product at all. The margin is entirely in the finish.
The finish.
Yeah. A standard printed wedding invitation is functional. It tells you where to be and at what time. But take that exact same piece of paper and press a layer of metallic gold foil over the names.
It suddenly feels expensive, exclusive, and important. It signals luxury.
And people pay a disproportionate premium for luxury signals.
But again, we aren't uploading these to a marketplace hoping a bride finds us, right?
Right. The most durable strategy is becoming a supplier to the professionals who already have the clients.
So graphic design studios, boutique stationery shops, local marketing agencies.
Exactly. They spend all their time and money acquiring the end consumer. If you become their reliable, high-quality partner for those premium metallic finishes, the person who never misses a deadline, you tap into their pipeline.
You secure stable, recurring B2B revenue without ever having to run a Facebook ad yourself.
It's the smartest way to play it.
Now, following this logic, if solving bigger B2B problems and providing premium finishes is the key to real money, a listener might be thinking, well, I should skip the $300 vinyl cutter and buy a massive $5,000 industrial machine.
Scaling up before starting.
Yeah. I'm talking about automated coffee capsule packers or a high-end ceramic studio setup with hydraulic presses. Instantly professional, right?
This raises an important question about the illusion of professionalism.
The illusion.
Yes. We trick ourselves into believing that heavy, industrial-looking equipment magically validates our business plan. A massive machine makes you feel like a serious, heavy-hitting CEO, but it is not proof of market demand.
It is just a larger, more expensive object with a plug.
Precisely. Let's look at the coffee capsule machine. On paper, it sounds like the ultimate recurring revenue dream. Coffee is an addiction. People buy capsules every single week.
It seems foolproof to buy a machine that packs and seals your own brand of pods.
But the hurdles to actually pull that off are terrifying. Can you consistently source high-quality, freshly roasted beans? How do you ensure the nitrogen flush in the packaging actually works so the coffee doesn't go stale in a week?
And realistically, how are you competing for shelf space or online clicks against global conglomerates who sell capsules in every supermarket on Earth? The risk is enormous.
The smarter, quieter opportunity might be using that machine to help a local independent cafe create a private label capsule for their regular customers. But launching your own global brand from zero just because you bought the packer, that's a fast track to bankruptcy.
Ceramics is another perfect example. You watch a hypnotic video of someone throwing clay. So you buy a professional $1,000 pottery wheel. It looks fantastic in the garage. It feels deeply artistic. But the wheel does absolutely nothing to make the mug.
The value of a handmade ceramic mug isn't generated by the wheel, it's generated by the potter.
The human element.
Exactly. It is the 10,000 hours of practice to center the clay, the recognizable glazing style, the brand identity, the patience required for the kiln firing.
Buying the wheel doesn't fast-track your business success. It just changes the type of labor you have to perform.
The equipment doesn't remove the grueling work of mastering a craft and building an audience.
So what does this all mean? If you've been listening and waiting for us to reveal, okay, here is the ultimate machine that makes the most money, we're going to intercept that thought right now.
Because that is the wrong question. There is no single best machine.
There really isn't.
There is only the optimal combination of a specific customer, your local market, your sales ability, and the right tool to connect them.
So to make sure you never fall for the targeted ad trap again, here's the concrete payoff for this deep dive. Before you spend a single dime on any piece of equipment, you must force your idea through 5 specific, highly realistic filters.
Filter number 1, demand before equipment.
What does that look like?
Do not ask if the machine is on sale. Ask if people in your specific town or network are already paying money for the end product. Look at local business directories, talk to local shop owners.
So seeing if the river is actually there before building the bridge.
Exactly. If nobody is actively spending money to solve this problem right now, it's not a business opportunity, it's a hobby.
Which flows right into filter 2. Name the specific customer. And you are not allowed to say, I will sell to pet owners on social media. Social media is a distribution channel, not a demographic.
Right, that's way too broad.
A specific customer is, I am targeting the 3 independent veterinary clinics in my zip code who need custom engraved dog tags for their welcome packets.
The more specific you get, the less fantasy you rely on, and the easier it is to pick up the phone and actually call them.
Then we hit the graveyard of small businesses. Filter 3, calculate the real margin.
This is where the math usually falls apart. People take a blank tumbler that costs $3, they sell it for $15, and they celebrate a $12 profit.
Which is completely delusional. We have to walk through how that $12 vanishes. First, you have the electricity to run the heat press. Then you have the software subscription for your design program.
And the platform fees.
Right, the online platform takes their 15% cut. The payment processor takes 3% plus 30 cents. You have to pay for the shipping box, the bubble wrap, and the label. And what about your mistake rate?
The mistakes are huge. You ruin 2 out of every 10 tumblers while learning the machine. Add in your self-employment taxes and the cost of the advertising to get that customer in the first place.
So that $15 sale might genuinely only leave you with 80 cents of actual margin. Maybe you lost money. Revenue is just excitement. Margin is the only thing that pays the mortgage.
Very true.
Filter 4 is repetition. A durable income isn't built on finding a new stranger every single day to buy one item. It is built on recurring needs. Does that veterinary clinic need a new batch of dog tags every single month as they get new patients?
Can you turn a one-off product into a subscription service for local businesses? That's the real goal.
Finally, filter 5, legal and operational risk. We touched on this with the food machines, but it applies everywhere. Are you cutting materials that produce toxic fumes? Are you making toys or children's apparel that requires safety testing?
Treat local regulations, zoning laws, and commercial insurance as core structural elements of your business model, not annoyances to ignore.
All right, we promised a way to judge whether an opportunity is real or a trap, and here is the ultimate hack. This is the biggest money-saving secret pulled from all our sources. Are you ready?
Wait on them.
You do not need to buy the machine first. In fact, you shouldn't.
It is the ultimate risk reduction strategy. Test before you buy.
How exactly do we do that?
Well, if you run your idea through the 5 filters and decide you want to start that custom dog tag business for veterinary clinics, do not buy the engraver. Go pitch the clinics first.
You literally walk in and say, hey, I am starting a local service providing premium branded pet tags for your new patient kits. Packages start at 50 units. Would you like to see a sample?
Exactly. And if 3 clinics laugh you out of the building, congratulations, you just gained incredibly valuable market data without spending $2,000 on a machine.
But what if one says yes? What if they want a quote?
If they agree, you take their deposit and you outsource that very first batch to an established local trophy shop or an online commercial printer.
So you don't even make it yourself?
Not the first time. You might make 0 profit on that first order, but you have done something infinitely more valuable. You have proven that someone will actually hand you money for the result.
Evidence of demand is worth far more than the temporary dopamine hit of having a shiny new tool on your desk.
100%.
That brings us full circle. The machine is not the business. The machine will not find your clients, it will not negotiate your prices, and it will not sweep up the shop floor at midnight.
You have to plug in your judgment long before you plug in the machine.
Because while a machine can manufacture products, only a good decision manufactures margin.
I will leave you with this final, somewhat uncomfortable thought to mull over.
Go for it.
If a machine only magnifies an existing business model, look around your own life right now. What are the mini machines in your world?
Oh, that's interesting.
What expensive software tools, premium apps, or monthly subscriptions have you purchased recently, secretly hoping they would magically do the hard work of building a skill, organizing your life, or finding an audience?
Ouch. That is a fantastic, highly revealing question to chew on. The traps are everywhere, not just in manufacturing. Don't forget to subscribe to TalkShowman for practical business ideas and real-world opportunities.
We appreciate you spending this time with us today, looking past the marketing illusions and getting down to the actual math.
Until next time, keep looking for real opportunities, not fantasy. See you soon on TalkShowman.